We are back today with another episode on the $400 Blazer. Last time we put a new rear end under it because it finally went bad because there was no fluid in it. Could have been anybody's fault. It was mine, but it could have been anybody's. The Blazer still needs a ton of maintenance. And before we do that, I want to get the good out of it. And I mentioned in the last video that we were going to do some trail cleanup. Luckily we're blessed to have 36 acres here, sort of on the property. And all the trees have fallen down. Every single one has fallen down between the last fall and this spring. So we're going to try to go through, get all of the trails opened up because we do enjoy riding four-wheelers, Blazers, everything through the trails. We want to make sure that it's wide enough for a vehicle to pass through. The Hummer, so it has to be like, the Hummer's going to go through, it has to be somewhere between 8 and 400 feet wide. So that's what we're going to kind of work on today. We're also going to do some yard cleanup behind me. I'll kind of show you guys some of that. I don't know if we're going to get into that because the storm clouds are a-brewing above me, and I'm not dedicated enough to work out here in a rainstorm. So we're going to try to get as much done as we can. And, you know, as always, I never really know where these videos are going to end up. We just, whenever it feels right, we stop. So that's kind of what we're going to do today, get some stuff done. And hopefully have some fun while we're at it and not completely destroy the Blazer, but if we destroy it a little bit, I'm good with that. One of the things I did notice, because I haven't really driven the Blazer on the road other than just a little bit you saw in the last video, I was getting a nasty sound on this passenger side. I assume it's the wheel bearing when it has pressure on it, but it actually feels decently tight, not too bad. And then over on this side, I don't know if I'll be able to do it with one hand. This side is extremely loose. I can't do it with one hand. Sorry guys, but it is that one feels like the wheel's just coming off. So yeah, we got some maintenance to do. Now we do live on the side of a hill. I was gonna say mountain, but in Pennsylvania we really don't have mountains. Got the lawnmower out for anything that would be like a grassy section or stuff we want to cut down a little bit with that if it's real small. I actually already started that because this was all grown up like this the whole way along here. In there were some big rocks and stuff, so we'll have to clean that up at some point. I don't know that that'll be today. The other thing is, now I said we have some land here, and this is all family property, and this was what I actually grew up playing on as a little kid. My dad had built this play set, and it has been taken over because there hasn't been any small kids to play on it for a long time. So I think at this point, unfortunately, it's just going to have to come down. It used to have a second level, and that's fallen down. There used to be a swinging bridge across right there. It's actually sitting in the weeds over there. So it's a little bit in disrepair, and I don't think we're bringing it back. So that we're going to just probably tear down and then push over. We did some yard cleanup, and we didn't really finish because these are all trees that have been, tree stumps and stuff that still need taken out. And this used to be open in here, so yeah, I've been a little lazy on the yard stuff, so that's what we're trying to get better about. And so we'll probably push that with the skid loader whenever we get the skid loader over here and just push it into the piles over there so that we can burn it. And then the cool thing is in all of these weeds, I believe, believe you can see it some places here, there's an old rock wall. This used to all be farmland there. You can see some remnants. Those are all rocks in there. I believe it runs the whole way along between here and there. I just think the rock wall would be such a cool little like backdrop before you get into the actual woods and you get into all the brush and stuff. But if we had it kind of everything on the other side of that, I would be good with that. I think it'd look really cool. Got a lot of trees that really should come down because they're all dead. Actually, you can see the ones over there. Those ones are real dead, and those need to come down too. So yeah, so we got a lot of stuff going on here. We're just gonna start going up through the woods, I think. And got the chainsaw in here. We're almost out of fuel, so that's a problem. All right, so we got this section, and I'm not gonna mow the whole thing, but like since this is kind of the entrance, I want to keep it mowed up a little bit better. The rock wall that I was talking about, you can actually see some more remnants there, and it actually is like here, like right in the trail, so I can't really take the mower up further than this because it's just a bunch of rocks. It's never going to make it. It doesn't really look like too much here, but you know, on camera, but in person it's not going to make it. So so we're just going to do our best through here. This tree here we're going to do something with. I don't know. I'd like to just push it over that way ideally, but probably should get the chainsaw out and do a little cutting. We have a loop basically that goes up there, comes back around the other side, and comes down over there. And I'd like to at least get that opened up today, if we can. So I think my plan is I'm actually going to drag this guy out of here completely, put it over in the stacks of stuff that's going to be burned. I'm going to have to move you because that's going to get knocked over in about 10 seconds. There we go. I don't have the whole tree, do I? I just have a section of the tree. Yeah. All right. This is looking pretty good now. It's pretty much clear. Got some growing up stuff, but nothing, no big trees down until we get up to there, at least. That's all I can see for the moment. Got a bunch of stuff over in here that could be cleaned up at someday, but that's not gonna be today. Well, we had to break the chainsaw out, just cut her down on that side. Just gonna push it all into the brush out of the way for now. I think there's actually another trail that it enters like there, maybe, or maybe it's here. I'm not sure. It's so grown up at this point, I can't really tell, and it cuts through down to the building down there, but I don't know exactly which spot it is. It kind of looks like here. I was actually going to do a real cool, you know, YouTube move and pick this camera up while I was driving by, but this is so slick here. That just wasn't possible. I was worried about running the phone over. We didn't though. So what we're going to do is we're going this way, obviously where the Blazer is pointed there. We could go up the hill, and we might. I got to check time and stuff and see how soon it's going to rain, because I think it's pretty soon. And This is kind of the loop that goes back around, but I know we have one huge tree down here on the other side. As we go along here, if we see any big sticks or rocks, we'll pick them up. Don't see too much, it's actually pretty clear. I think we're coming up to a pretty big one down here. Yeah, there she is. That's a big old one. Have to see what the blazer can do to get rid of this guy, because even if unless I do it in real small chunks, that was a rock and a half. It looks like, I guess it's not a trail there. All right. So this is the one. Now I'm hoping maybe I'll cut it like one here and can pull that out, and then like another one over here and can pull that out. I just am afraid maybe some of the roots are still attached on the other side of the tree. Obviously the ones that are up in the air are not. And that's actually the kind of the end of the trail right there. It's not a long one, but it's this whole trail that we just did is kind of the entrance to all the other trails, so that's why I wanted to get this done first. Or maybe I can just hook up there and just swing it around back into there. That wouldn't be the worst. Huh. Yeah, I think I'm going to try that first, and then we'll go from there. So it's pretty cool, and this section is actually probably some of the most undisturbed, best shaped portion of this wall that I was talking about. It goes kind of around the whole property. I actually don't even know really where this ends up there, but it does somewhere. And this guy here, I think I want to get it a little bit further out of the trail. Like, you could fit through here even with the Hummer, but still, just if it gets grown up at all and you don't see the end of that, that's not great. So I think I'm just going to pull the blazer into the woods. Well, actually, now that I'm kind of looking at it, I think the vines are the worst thing about the woods here. It's just, they are so strong. And I think that's actually what's keeping it from pushing a little bit further, because these guys here, well, not as tight as I thought, but I think I'm going to cut them with the chainsaw quick. Oh, there she is. We made it through. Got that first loop done. I think the only thing left to do is we'll just have to do a couple run-throughs just to knock everything down. So that'll be kind of fun now that it's cleared out. But that's where that tree was. Got it nice and out of the way, real wide there. Just got to actually use them now so they don't get so beat up or so grown up. And the old blazer did pretty good. Still got a lot of maintenance to do on her. Lost that fender. Actually, not as rusty under there as I thought it was going to be. Just that spot right there. Did I lose the one over here too? I thought I did. No, she's well, attached is probably not the right word to use. Should we just do it? No. Okay, whatever screw that is it's on there. Yeah. This is, by the way, the SRX that I put 2 engines in. So when I say that I hate 3.6 engines, that's the reason why, because right now it's sitting there with a blown motor. Otherwise, it was a great car. Let's go do the entire loop real quick. You can see all this stuff, more stuff just to be cleaned up. So as you can kind of see, this is where we put our tree that I drug out earlier, and it is just slop in here. It is just mud, like a foot of mud. So I'm trying not to tear up the yard, even though it's kind of a mess. I'm gonna try not to tear it up too much. So here we go for the full loop experience. Now this is not like a crazy hill or anything, but it is pretty wet. So you got to keep a little momentum or you'll be sliding back down. And then over to my right here is another logging trail. Needs cleaned out still. Uh-oh. And then you can... There we go. We made it. There's also another trail that ran right through there that kind of was like a loop the whole way around the building there. That one definitely has not been used in a while. I think let's go turn around and go back through the opposite of the way we just came. Yeah, now what I need to do is just drive through here like, oh, that's a rock and a half. Got to keep driving through here once or twice a week, keep everything in order. Now see, we might just try going up here a little bit, so that's where we would normally turn and go down, but let's see what we can do, see if we can get to the top up here. Well, the old girl did awesome. No issues other than just, I can hear this wheel it's just a rattling, because I think it's just the CV axle at this point is holding it on there. So yeah, we're gonna have to do some work, which we knew beforehand. But honestly, I'm so happy to have those, at least that little bit of trails cleared. We got the whole way up to the top of the mountain. There really wasn't much up on the actual incline up there, so that's good. And the top section was clear too, other than just like one smaller bush that I just pushed out with the Blazer itself, and then now it's clear as can be. So there's, I mean, a million more trails up there to actually like do the work in, but not gonna be today. So it's actually sunny right now, but I think there's some storm clouds rolling in here any moment. But I appreciate you guys watching. I really enjoy the little Blazer videos. Let me know what you think down below. Appreciate you watching. Have a great day.